should be a very good one.
Yeah, we are dry again, I believe, Lincoln, and I'm certain that is a welcome sight to these 27 men out here for the 10K.
So our top seed time belongs to Connor Cam. He is of the, I think, the Ann Arbor Running Club, and he goes directly to the front there in that yellow kit. So already it is Cam establishing this pace already. He's not messing around.
Well, since we have AC/DC playing on the PA, I think we're ready to roll and get this one rocking. No holding back. And again, it would be nice to have a really competitive race out there, not only for us to just wrap up a great day two, but for those who have hung around through the little bit of rain, to see a good, exciting finish to day two here at the Gino Relays.
Definitely. So a 70 opening lap, not at all messing around, is Cam, and got to think that's Fontana in second. So Cam, a former Division III runner at Williams College.
And a couple of years ago, if I remember right, the quick look I took back in like 2008, 2010, that type of thing, I believe.
Right, yeah. His career was wrapped up about 2010, so
okay.
We are talking about a number of years ago that his career has closed, but still doing it out here. Let's check out his what he's done in his career, if I can pull up his stats page.
Now, you mentioned the D2 auto qualifier of 29:15:09. Thus far, only 6 Division II athletes have hit that. So, again, another very stout qualifying standard to keep things select at the national championships.
Definitely. So we are going to be, we've slowed down just a little bit. So first lap of little importance other than being one of 25, but we were on sub 29-minute pace. Of course, the first lap is pretty much meaningless.
Now, last night, this is where we had a change for the lead, and the lead lasted the final 9,200 meters.
But this is what a competitive 10,000 looks like. Strung out early and pretty quick. The Gina record has held since 2002, and for good reason. Kyle Baker's 28:34. That may be one that lasts for a couple generations. That's very fast. We're heading to 1K. It's about 3 minutes. So we're sitting there. Now we're about on 30-minute tempo, so we've slowed down a little bit.
And I was just thinking about that. You really have to have a race set up. You either have 1 or 2 quality runners, and they spread the word, hey, I'm going to be at Hillsdale. Let's get together and run a good 10,000, run a good 5,000. Even talking to the Division I coach today that wasn't familiar with this invitational. So she said this was new, and she looked through the numbers and said, wow, great competition, and glad that she came up here.
Yep. So through 3 laps, 22 to go. And look how strung out we are. There's Fontana in second from Adams State. And it looks like maybe a Calvin athlete, or no, Central Michigan, excuse me.
And Connor Cam took a look back as he made it onto the back straightaway just to see how everybody was situated. Again, for the Ann Arbor Running Club.
So Fontana, he's coming back to run 10,000 meters after running it just 2 weeks ago. That is quite the turnaround for a over 6 mile race. You obviously do that on the cross country season if you run at the regional and the national meet, but you really don't want to do that too much more than that. Fontana, though, trying to possibly lower his time for NCAA qualification. 4:46.97. So we're now about 29:50 50 or thereabouts pace, so slowed down a little bit. I think Fontana sensed that Cam needed a little bit of help up front. He will do that for him. Fontana, Cam, and then DeCalita of Central Michigan. Those are your top three with about 20 of their good friends all right there.
And as you mentioned, our Adams State runner ran that 2 weeks ago out at Mount Sac. So, and that also is where the D2 national lead occurred. So, he went from being in a race where he was the chaser to now he's being the chased. Coming up at 2,000 in the books.
So just a little bit under that 30-minute tempo, 5:58. So still on that 29:50 tempo. And let's see, let's count them out. We have 13 men in this top pack, and then a second pack of 5. That's still well within reach here. So a lot of men looking to run a fast 10K and trying to also pick up a win here.
It's interesting to look at our leader's season thus far. He came off the D2 National Championship indoor meet, ran a 14:36 on March 9th, and then did not run again until the Don Kirby meet on April Fool's Day, where he ran the 1,500 in 4:07, and then 2 weeks later runs in Mount Sac.
Right.
So just like when you make the transition from the high school track and field scene to collegiately, your number of meets normally just decreases. You don't have the dual meet on Tuesday, the invitational on Friday and Saturday. You're picking one up a week, if that, maybe, and even maybe 2 weeks in between long distance runs or such.
Especially if you're a 10K runner. Mm-hmm. Like I said, rare that what Fontana's doing there. Our athlete in second as DeCalita leads. Running 2 10Ks within 2 weeks. That is brutal. Of course, you at the D1 level, you have to do that for regionals, but you're not really looking to run, for the most part, as fast as you possibly can. I mean, some of the guys will have to do that. It's just a tough proposition for these athletes.
And again, at Mount Sac, he was obviously pushed to his limit at the time, being in the middle of that large pack with quality athletes going low 28s ahead of him.
Yeah, the D1 leader right now, or excuse me, the D2 leader in Division II, already going to end up being one of the best runners in D2 history. Vincent Kiprop of Missouri Southern. He ran 28:19, beat all the pros, beat all the college guys, or beat all the D1 guys there. And he is an absolute stud. He's also, if we're looking at 5,000 times for Vincent Kiprop, obviously not here, but he's going to be a guy that's probably going to sweep up a lot of the events at the outdoor championships. He is he's run 13:53. He's a lot quicker than that, though, as he ran in the 13:30s indoors to win the D2 indoor title.
And as Coach Towns said earlier when he was up here in the booth talking about points in the program of the year that Hillsdale was last year, when the Orange Sisters went 1-2, that's a big 18 points at a national championship. So that's what coaches, they just love and like to put that in their back pocket and bring it out year after year.
So they were about 9 minutes through 3,000. Again, they're switching off laps. So some nice teamwork, even though these guys aren't teammates, at least besides some Adams State guys up there. They're switching off laps, which is a great thing to see. It's opposite of what we've seen thus far in the first section yesterday in the 10K and last night the women's 10K. These guys clearly working together, and that is going to pay dividends as this race develops, because it just allows you to go to the front, take the tempo. It keeps the race going at a particular pace. So Connor Cam, our top seed, back up front. And we have another mile until we get to halfway.
Since we've discussed that Connor's collegiate career ended just over 6 years ago,
Yeah.
it is sometimes kind of difficult for a post-collegiate runner to go out there and find the right, especially distance rates, for them to go out and compete in. It's like, they have few opportunities maybe in their work schedule, or if they're going to grad school or something like that, to go out and find that perfect 10K in the area, so they don't have to travel a lot to put all that scheduling together. And that's what sort of makes a long career kind of difficult if you're not
Absolutely.
a professional athlete.
So Cam did pull up a stat page on him. He's run 8:14 for 3,000 meters, 14:28 for 5K. His 5K PR is nearly 7 years old. And but more recently, or at least it's been 3 years ago for him, he did run a 65-minute half marathon at the Houston half. So this guy is sticking to it after his his college career has ended. He one race on his page thus far in 2017, did run a 14:32 5K. So the way it would appear based on the times he's run is maybe he kind of stepped away from the sport for a bit and now has come back to it. Is because from 2010 to 2014, he had no results on this Hillsdale, the Swedish page that records almost all of the times in elite track and field.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so Connor Cam sticking with the collegians, a former D3 runner. So it's now Sean Fontana's turn to take back over the laps as we hit. Let's see, that'll be 4,000, just around 12 minutes.
As you mentioned, Connor apparently stepping away from the game. The wear and tear of running 5,000 and 10,000 meter races would compile and add up. So it's sort of a way, if he did that purposefully or otherwise, to save the legs and come back and
Right.
really give it another good go.
So Fontana making sure this pace sticks on schedule. It's great to see that these guys, at least I would imagine, they discussed this plan before the race. Probably some coaches were involved as well. Because for Adams State, Fontana and his teammate there, a couple Adams State guys, I mean, excuse me, that's not Fontana in first. That's Ramirez. My apologies. That's Ramirez, Fontana there in third. The Adams State guys, I mean, they're looking to get more points at the national meet. So if they can get more guys up there, have a swinging shot at scoring in the 10,000 at nationals, that only adds to their chances of possibly getting on the podium at the national meet there in Florida.
And I'll go out and make the assumption, since the 5,000 a game plan where runners were working together really didn't pan out, that maybe the folks who traveled all the way from Colorado said, you know what, I'm going to go around and talk to some more coaches and see if we can make certain that we keep this pace going in the 10K.
Yeah, absolutely. So our lineup here, we have Lucio Ramirez, him with a 29:58 personal best to his credit. And Connor Cam has been a mainstay up front. So the same can be said of Fontana, who's in second. Left side of your screen there, Braden Seneca. I haven't said his name. He's running for Speed River there in Canada. Also looks like maybe some Eastern Michigan representation there in about 5th and 6th. But the train is moving.
And we see a little bit of looking back there from Sean Fontana now. He's going to try to sneak up on the rail.
Yeah.
Going to help the pacing. Maybe he noticed that things dropped just a bit.
And Cam, it's now Cam's turn to take over a couple laps. It seems like he's done a disproportionate amount of leading, but he is the top seed, and he may feel comfortable with this job. And it's going to start to string out some more. So in the next 200 meters, we will hit halfway in this men's 10,000. We have Connor Cam up front, Sean Fontana in second, and there is Braden Seneca in third, Lucio Ramirez right there in fourth, and then some Eastern Michigan athletes. I do see Mitchell Linneman, and let's see who we got there. Otherwise, he's lost his hip numbers, but another Eastern Michigan athlete also right there in contention. So I missed that. They say 14:55.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 5 men maybe starting to break away here. We have passed halfway, sitting on about 30-minute tempo. You know, based on the way this has developed, that it's going to keep getting quicker. At least that's got to be the thinking of the 5 up front. So 12 laps to go.
And again, we're in single file, but you see this at the elite races, like you said, at the Stanford Invitational, and at the other European races, they're almost running in lockstep. Even though they're not side by side, they're not off each other's shoulder, they are running in sync with each other.
So Cam, Fontana, Seneca, and your Eastern Michigan athlete. That's possibly, I imagine that's Flores. Abel Flores, as only 2 Eastern Michigan athletes are there. Looks like maybe Lucio Ramirez starting to go a little bit backwards. "11 laps to go." And we have a front group of, let's see, about 7 men. 16:48 with 11 to go.
And even though there's been some lead sharing amongst 2 or 3 runners, the 6K mark is sort of a time where somebody can maybe make a decision where, you know what, we've been sharing the pacing work, but I think I still got a little bit left in me. Let's try to pick it up just a little bit. Or if they're doing the math and they realize that they want to go a little further under 30 minutes, that they need to speed up the turnover on their legs.
But you got to think you got a lot of fresh guys here relative to how far they are into the race, just based again on how they've been moving around in this one.
And again, the rain has gone away. I'll knock on wood for everybody, and doesn't appear to be too much of a breeze. So again, we're back to pretty ideal distance running here at night at Hillsdale.
So we come up to 10 laps to go. This is 6,000 meters, and we're going to hit it just outside 18 minutes.
There we go. 30 minutes if we don't get some negative split running at the end, which I'm certain at least for 2 laps or so we will.
Yeah, I think we are definitely going to see a pretty quick finish. All these guys look pretty good. We have broke down into a group of 5 as it's Fontana, Cam, Seneca. It is there in 4th. It's Flores, and then rounding out our top 5, it is Ramirez. Although Logan Kleem, who's unattached there, is sticking tough, trying to make sure he doesn't lose contact with his front group. It's a critical juncture in this race. If you start to lose contact at this point, you're only going to keep drifting back and back.
Now it looks like moving to the outside, looking to have somebody else share the work.
Seneca, yeah. Hey, Mr. Seneca, you haven't taken the lead all night. It is your turn. That was the urging at this point.
He's still wearing the gloves through the 7-kilometer mark here. So, but now he's in front for the first time. So, how long do you think he's going to be up there?
Well, I think they'll let him take it for a lap or 2 if he wants. He may understand the drill now completely. Looked a little bit hesitant to go to the front, but he will do that. He won't go the whole way, and I think this pack understands that, and they'll take it from him. But a really calculated and organized race being run so far by this top group, and I think it's going to lead to some quick times. Now, Abel Flores may be starting to put a little charge. He'll go to the front, so only about 150 meters did Seneca go to the front, and that may be because he's hurting. He's straining a little bit. He may not be long for this group, but we'll see.
Again, Abel Flores has run 30:27:54. Amongst the top performers in the Mid-American Conference thus far in 2017.
So we are just going to have 3,200 to go. Flores, Fontana, Cam, Seneca, and Ramirez.
And I think Seneca might have some difficulty holding onto that group. He definitely...
yeah, he looks like he's struggling. So 3,200 to go. We were at about 20:30. It's tough to get a read on who's feeling the best out of the top four. It looked like Seneca maybe is starting to drop off, but he's hanging tough. A long way to go. Cam still looks fine. Obviously, Flores just chugging away at this point. So, who knows?
Yeah, on the high school level, you don't really think of the 3,200 meters as an overly long race.
Not
but
at all.
After you've run 6,800, 3,200 meters can be a tough 8 laps. So we're coming up on the 2,800 meters to go, 7 laps in this men's 10,000. We have a switch for the lead once again.
Here comes Connor Cam, who's done the most leading in this race. And with 7 to go, don't know if this is just his turn to go to the front or maybe he's starting to push.
And our lead group is definitely 4.
All right, so Seneca, a casualty of the latest move. But other than that, no signs of deterioration on Cam, Flores, Fontana, and Ramirez. That is your top 4 in order.
You did touch on it when Fontana moved out into lane 2 and said, okay, Seneca, your turn to lead. And I think he realized, like, no, guys, this isn't for me.
Yeah, they made him do it. But he wasn't long for that one. And at least he won't get discredited with taking some of the pacing duty along. But, yeah, he wasn't prepared to take control as the cream has rose to the top. Cam's going to rip off his number there. They're just shedding all the extra weight.
Now, you spoke of how the lapped runners benefited the leaders in the women's 10K. How about how they're going to help or hurt this pack of 4 going through a lot of lap traffic here in the next couple laps?
Yeah, they're going to have to work around. At the 10,000, it's not as easy. There doesn't seem like athletes are moving to the outside. That one does there, but it's going to work for them, I think, for targets. But right now they're focused on racing each other and getting in position for the last mile, which I think is going to be really fun.
And I know everyone won't mind staying on the air for another half hour to get a good conversation with these top 4 finishers, but I really would like to it's like, guys, was there a conversation before the race started where, like, you know what, we're the top runners here. We can work together and pull this through to a good, solid 29-minute clocking. But I'm getting the signal we're not going to be on for another half hour, right, producer? Yes.
No emotion at all. Not even a register. All right.
Okay, that was a bad joke, I know. All right, here we go.
So this is approaching 8,000 meters for our pack. And we are going to be just a little bit outside of that 30-minute tempo. I got a feeling we'll be able to get under it, though, with the last mile, as these guys all still look in it and still look very fresh.
29:00 or 24:07, excuse me.
So, yeah, a little bit outside of 30-minute pace. But I imagine that things will pick up considerably now. And now, guess what? Who saw the clock and did the math? Abel Flores. He is moving now, trying to get this under 30 minutes. He does not want to run 30:05.
And he is the one with the motivation. He's sitting at 30:27, but now that group of 4 is reconnected. We wondered how long they would purposefully stick together and trade off the lead, and I guess that was the first break in the union between these 4 runners.
So Fontana will get back up and make sure that he doesn't lose contact. So is Ramirez, sensing danger. Let's see if Cam can still hang with. I don't know. He may be dealing with a little side stitch. I saw him maybe clutching his side a moment ago.
So apparently you have to be wearing green on some part of your body, whether the green jersey from the Eastern Michigan and Adams State runners or the green spikes for Connor Cam. But those are our top 4, and now it looks like that breakaway group of 3.
Yeah, so Cam is off now. It is just the collegians remaining with under a mile to go. So it's now Ramirez, Flores, and Fontana.
So Abel Flores will get a season best out of this unless everything just falls apart over the last
just
3 laps. But the other 2 are already under 30 minutes for the 10K.
So how fast can we close over the final 1,200 meters? 3 men still right in this. It's going to be an entertaining final 1,200.
And how can the 2 Adams State Grizzlies work together to their benefit and the detriment of the Eastern Michigan athletes?
Right. I mean, it is Flores controlling things from Eastern Michigan, but will a little gamesmanship factor into this? Maybe now Ramirez starting to lose contact. He's trying with all his might to not do that. But we're approaching 9,000 meters, and things are just getting real tough into the final K.
So we were 9 seconds over at 8,000. We'll see how they battled back. They picked up the pace. No, actually just about another 3-minute 1,000 meters. So
yeah, we're gonna probably struggle to break 30 minutes now. But
again, you talked about those lap runners, most of them not moving out into lane 2 to give the faster athletes the benefit.
Yeah, that was a little struggle. Now you saw Flores motioning Fontana to the front. Hey, I want you to pace me through these final 2 laps. Yeah, didn't have an athlete there move out to the outside like he maybe should have. But 2 to go, and Fontana at the urging of Flores now to the front, and maybe now Fontana gonna blow away this field.
And maybe Flores knew that he was holding them back.
I suppose that I going to give him the lead because I know I can't hang at this point because he's put 10 meters on these 2 guys and threatening to run away with this.
With 850 to go, he made his move. Sean Fontana from Adams State has run 29:53.77, and he will really have to navigate on this final 1,000 meters to get close to that, hopefully under the 30-minute mark.
Yes, that I may have done my, well, let's see, I was maybe just a little bit off my math there. I thought that they weren't going to be able to break 30 minutes, but no, Fontana may come pretty close to that, and he may do it here as he is going to approach the final lap. He is going to need, let's see, he's going to need about, I'd say, let's see, a 70, maybe quicker. He's going to need something in the 60s to break 30 minutes. So, about a 68 will be required here. I think he's got it in him, though. I misspoke earlier. It's late in the night here in Michigan, and my math escaped me. But Fontana, as long as he can close in 68, he is going to take this, and he is driving now. Look at him going to the arms.
And he got a nice help from the Eastern Michigan athlete moving out in the lane 2 and lane 3. He's got 200 to go, and he's at 29:23.
Yeah, he's going to be under 30 minutes. If he can run, well, he's going to have to run a 29 to get under his PR. That's going to be brutally tough.
And here he comes. He's got the arms moving. He's got the legs following along, but he's got lap traffic that he's going to have to move out in the lane 2. Sean Fontana driving for the line.
He really wants to get under his PR. Unfortunately, I think he's going to run right on it, maybe just a tick under.
Oh, he does.
How about a second under his PR? for Sean Fontana. Nice performance. Let's see what his official 29:52.81. He goes from 17th in the country to 16th in the country in Division II. So 6 miles worth of work to move up one spot on the descending order list. He'll take it.
And we only get one sub-30 runner out of that. Ramirez finishing second in 30:06, and Flores at 30:10, but Flores gets a PR out of it.
Yes, and Fontana, I think he closed in about, he closed in about 61, 62 seconds. So nice speed from him to finish off this 10,000 and finish off our night here in Hillsdale, Michigan.
And they were still 7 seconds over at the 9K mark, so he definitely ran a very nice last 1,000 meters.
Super quick. Okay, so our rest of our field will continue to trickle in. We had some lapped runners, and they will head to the finish line. And once they conclude their nights, that will end ours as well. Day 2 has been a thrill here at the 2017 Gina Relays. And we look forward to wrapping up our action tomorrow. Action on the track starts at 1 p.m. It'll be, I'm pretty sure, all championship action tomorrow. We'll have some sprints. The mid-distance and the 800 at least will go down, some 400s, and then the always famous relays, 4x1, 4x4s to finish off our meet. It should be a fantastic final day, if the weather holds off, that is. It fortunately did that tonight. And let's see, it looks like our final athletes have crossed the line. So that will do it for our coverage of Day 2 of the Hillsdale College Gina Relays. I want to once again thank my production team. I am Lincoln Shrike. He has been